Up, it's time to slam now. So I'm just giving the audio a little bit of a karaoke. Welcome to Upwey High School Stadium, sponsored by Bendigo Community Bank, Upwey and District, for this match between the Sherbrooke Suns and the Wallan Panthers. We're underway. I was a bit late today. Wallan win the tip. Ball makes its way to Schultz. She's guarded closely by Karajik Powell. Ball off to Mott now. Looking cross-court into the corner. Can't quite see the number. That's Schultz going for three. Shot doesn't fall. Tompkins rebounds. Sherbrooke going the other way. Ball makes its way back to Tompkins. Top of the key. Open three. Shot doesn't fall. Schultz rebounds. And gives to Kerr. Her pass is deflected out of court. So Sherbrooke coming off a 73-62 win over Mornington. They currently sit 6th with a record of 5-3. Wallan currently last with a record of 0-8. Last time these two teams met, the Suns came away dominant victors 88-39. Let's see what the result's like today. Schultz goes for another three again. Got it! Paige Schultz knocks down a three to open the scoring. Wallan look to be implementing a 2-3 zone. So Sherbrooke forced to kick around outside the perimeter. Gibson gives to Tompkins. She goes deep three. Got it! So Sherbrooke returns serve early on. Scores at 3 apiece. Ball inside, finds Sweet. It's blocked by Karajik Powell. Picked up by Gibson. Gibson goes across to Greenwood on the left side. She kicks out to Karajik Powell. Karajik Powell drives, looks for the handoff to Gray. It's deflected away by Mott, and now Wallan the other way. Shot doesn't fall. For Macaulay. Ball out of court for Sherbrooke deflection. So inbound ball from Kerr. Deflected away by Sherbrooke once more. So Wallan will take it again from the baseline. Pass inside. Looking for Sweet. Finds her. Karajik Powell blocks the first attempt. Second attempt doesn't fall either. But Schultz rebounds. And on the third attempt, it's fouled. So she will shoot 2.
Foul number 18, Holly Gibson.
So Schultz hits her first one. Currently has all of Wallan's points, rather. Make that both. So Wallan leads 5-3. Look to be implementing a press, falling back into a 2-3 zone. Greenwood kicks to Tompkins. Third attempt at 3. Tompkins has got it again. She's up to 6. Quick smart. Gibson blocks the pass from Sweet. To be a Wallan ball. Sweet gives to Schultz. Gets it back from Schultz. Sweet drives. Left side. And draws the foul on the Sherbrooke 18, Holly Gibson. So it'll be Olivia Sweet at the line this time as Lani Campbell checks in for Holly Gibson. Sweet hits the first one. And the second one as well. So Wallan currently shooting 4 for 4 from the line. Campbell long pass, looks for Tompkins. Her pass inside, looking for Greenwood, is cut off by Kerr. She moves up, ball finds Mott, now with Sweet. She looks to spin on Campbell, ball tipped away by Tompkins. She goes over the top to Campbell. Lani Campbell now, weak side for her, lays it in off the glass. Good start for Campbell. Sweet's pass finds Macaulay. Guarded by Greenwood. Not many options, so she goes to Sweet. She looks inside for Mott. whose shot is blocked and deflected out of court by Karajic Powell. So it's Kerr to take the inbound again. She kicks out, looking for Macaulay. Cut off by Lani Campbell. Greenwood now, fast break, open layup. Jazz Greenwood pops it in for her first points of the game. So Wallan now have the ball in the hands of Kerr. She fakes the pull-up, looks inside for Macaulay. Macaulay gets it, spins on Lani Campbell. Shot doesn't fall. Gray picks up the board. Karajic Powell gives to Campbell, to Gray. Out to Jazz Greenwood in the corner for three. That doesn't fall. Rebound Schultz. She hands off to Macaulay. Ball spills loose, picked up by Greenwood. Karajic Powell looks to go over the top to Campbell, but it's blocked and deflected by Mott. So Wallan have a 3-on-1 here. Gray defending for the Suns. First shot doesn't fall. Karajic Powell picks up the rebound on the second and will dribble up the other end. Ball finds Gray. She looks to drive. Shot doesn't go. Mott picks up the rebound. Schultz goes for three. Schultz has got it again. So Wallan keep it at 10 apiece. Something's happening. As the Panthers call a timeout, score is currently locked at 10 apiece with 6:03 to play in the first. So we begin once more. Ella Campbell has checked in, as well as Jenna Anderson for the Suns. Ball in the hands of Campbell. She kicks to Tompkins. Reloads for three once more. In and out for Tompkins. Rebound in dispute picked up by Kerr. She looks to dribble now. Waits for the screen from Schultz. Schultz rolls. Doesn't get the pass. Instead, ball kicked out to Mott. One more to Rukas, who's back on the court. Rukas for three. Shot doesn't go. Karajic Powell rebounds. Her pass over the top finds Campbell. She drives left side. Lays it in off the glass.
2 points. Ella Campbell.
Ball over the top finds Mott. Mott looks for Schultz. She's going to go for the jump shot from the elbow. Got it.
2 points. Hey, Schultz.
So Schultz up to 10 points. Score's locked at 12 apiece. Wallan keeping in touch here. Tompkins now looks to drive. She puts up a floater. Doesn't go off the glass. Hustles for the rebound. Schultz picks it up for the Panthers. And an offensive foul call drawn by Jenna Anderson on the Wallan 43, Paige Schultz. As both teams make substitutions, Olivia Connors checks in for Olivia Sweet for the Panthers, and Isabella Martin checks in for Katie Karajic Powell. So one Campbell to the other. Ella goes to Lani. 3 ball doesn't find the mark. Rebound off hands picked up by Campbell. She kicks to Anderson in the corner. Cross court pass to Tompkins. She reloads for 3 again. Got it.
3 points.
Tompkins shooting 3 for 5 from behind the arc to start. Ball with Kerr. She looks inside for Schultz. Deflected and picked up by Tompkins. She finds Anderson. Lani Campbell to Ella Campbell. She slows it down. 14 on the shot clock. Lani Campbell looking to dictate the play here. Waits for the screen from Martin. She kicks to Tompkins. Tompkins floater. Doesn't go. Rebound off hands. Makes its way to Schultz. Her pass deflected, however. Picked up by Campbell. She kicks out to Tompkins for 3. Once again, shot is short. Picked up by Rukas for the Panthers. She looks to drive left side. Defended by Campbell. And out of court. Sherbrooke make a substitution. Morty Patterson checking in for Alana Tompkins. So Rukas takes the inbound. She gives to Connors, who gives to Mott. Back out to Rukas. Rukas fakes the shot, looks to drive. Doesn't fall. Makes its way to Schultz now at the free throw line. Shot is no good. Rebound off hands. Picked up by Patterson for the Suns. She goes to Campbell. Campbell looks to drive into the middle. Ball deflected. Ends up with Anderson. She looks to drive. Puts up a shot. She's fouled. Will go to the line and shoot 2. So it's Jenna Anderson at the line. First free throw is just short. Sherbrooke lead by 3. 3.5 to play. Second one short as well. Martin hustles, gets the offensive rebound for the Suns. Puts it back up, doesn't fall. That rebound comes off hands to Martin once more. She kicks out to Ella Campbell, who goes for 3. Doesn't fall. The ball comes out off Sherbrooke. So it's a Panthers ball. Inbound ball finds Mott. She kicks back to Rukas. She looks to drive right side, guarded by Ella Campbell. Rukas spins, passes, looking for Kerr. It comes out of court off Kerr's hands. And it's a Sherbrooke ball. So Anderson with the ball, looks for Patterson, right side. Kicks to Anderson, back to Campbell. She looks inside for Martin in the post. Martin goes over the top to Anderson. Anderson's reverse layup. She's fouled. She'll go to the line.
Fouls on number 43, Paige Schultz. And a substitution for the Panthers. Olivia Sweet checking back in.
So Anderson back at the line. Anderson hits the first. So she's on the board now in regards to points. Anderson hits both of those. Ball in the hands of Ro Kerr for the Panthers. She gives to Mott. Mott waiting for the screen from Connors. She kicks inside to Kerr. Kerr dribbles inside. Shot doesn't fall. Martin rebounds. Pass over the top looking for Campbell. Campbell latches onto it eventually. She kicks out to Anderson. Anderson looks inside for Martin. Martin spins. Shot deflected out of court. So it's a Sherbrooke ball from the baseline. It's going to be Patterson to take the inbound. She gives inside to Martin. Martin kicks back out to Patterson. Patterson for 3. Doesn't fall. She gets her own offensive rebound. Dribbles it in. Shot doesn't fall. Martin offensive board. Shot is short. Picked up by Kerr. She's double teamed by Martin and Anderson. But she finds Mott. Mott gives to Sweet. Kicks out to Rukas. And back out to Kerr. So Wallan slowed down. 10 on the shot clock. Kerr looks to drive. Shot over Anderson. Blocked by Anderson. And Anderson draws the foul.
Fouls at number 9,
And Nikki Seema checking in for the Suns. Lani Campbell makes way. So Campbell goes to Patterson, swings to Seema, looks inside for Anderson. Anderson passes over to Campbell, intercepted and picked up by Connors, but her pass goes amiss. Patterson gives to Campbell. She's got Rukas for company, waits for the screen from Patterson, goes around it, gives to Anderson in the corner for 3. Shot is short. Mott rebounds. Sherbrooke lead 17-12, a minute 20 to play in the first. Sweet now, looks to drive inside over Seema. Shot doesn't fall. She steals it back though off the rebound and the ball out of court. It'll be a Panthers ball. So it'll be inbounded by Kerr. She finds Connors. Patterson for company. Kicks back to Kerr. Kerr for 3. Shot is short. Long rebound. Falls out to Connors. She passes inside to Mott. Mott spins. Puts up the shot up and in off the glass.
2 points. Chloe.
Ella Campbell now pulls up for 3. Shot is short. And out of court. So the Panthers to inbound. 50 seconds to play in the first. Ball in the hands of Sweet. She's guarded closely by Seema. Seema deflects it out of court. Be a Panthers ball once more. So Wallan inbound through Sweet. She finds Kerr. Kerr kicks to Connors from the free throw line. Her shot bounces nicely. So Wallan back within 1. Ella Campbell gives to Patterson, to Seema. Looks inside for Anderson. She kicks to Patterson, now to Campbell. Campbell fakes the 3, looks to drive inside. Floater from Campbell, just doesn't fall. Martin hustles on the rebound. The pass, cut off by Patterson. She passes to Martin, cut off by Mott for the Panthers. She finds Rukas over the top. Pass, just too much on it. She keeps it in, looking for Sweet. Cut off by Seema. Sweet steals, puts up a shot just before the bell goes, but it doesn't fall. So Sherbrooke take a 1-point lead. 17-16 after the first. So we're due to get back underway in about 20 seconds. Sherbrooke look to be running the same lineup as they finished that first quarter with, and currently hold a slim 1-point lead over the Panthers. Top scorers on the court for the Suns, Alana Tompkins with 9. She's shooting 50% from behind the arc. For the Panthers, Paige Schultz leads all comers on the court. She has 10 points. We get restarted. Patterson inbounds to Campbell. You'd have to say, even with less players, Wallan were the better team in that first term. Seema drives in. Shot just doesn't bounce the way she wants it to. Schultz rebounds. Rukers goes to Connors. Connors gets around Anderson, gives back to Rukers. Anderson comes across to help Martin and steals. But a travel called, so it'll be a Panthers ball.
And a travel called as Panthers ball.
Rukers inbound. She gives over the top to Schultz. Her jumper from the elbow doesn't fall. Seema rebounds. Gives to Anderson. Kicks out to Campbell. Campbell for three. In and out for Campbell. Seema rebounds. Lays it in off the glass. So ball in the hands of McCauley, who's back on the court. She gives to Sweet. Sweet looks to drive on Anderson. Shot doesn't fall, but she draws the foul.
And a foul call.
So Sweet will go to the line and shoot 2 for the Panthers. Sweet's first free throw doesn't fall. Second one in and out for Sweet. So rebound picked up by Martin. Given to Campbell. Ball makes its way to Patterson. Over the top to Martin. Martin spins around Schultz. And lays it in. So Sweet with the ball. Gives to Rukers. Rukers gives back to Sweet. Sweet cutting through the middle. Floater over Seema. Doesn't go. Seema rebounds. Her pass to Patterson, cut off by Connors. Connors puts it in off the glass. So Sherbrooke lead by 3. 8.5 to play in the second. Anderson gives to Seema, to Patterson in the corner. Fakes the shot, drives inside. Floater, too much on it. Rebound eventually picked up by McCauley. She looks to drive down the court. Finds herself in a bit of trouble, but kicks it out to Rukers. She goes for 3. Shot too much on it. Sweet's going to pick up the easy offensive board. 10 seconds on the clock. Connors looks inside for McCauley. McCauley looking to get around Patterson. Patterson picks it off and draws a foul. So Campbell with ball in hand, looks inside for Anderson. Anderson drives, shot deflected, picked up by Martin. She lays it in for 2. Sherbrooke's lead out to 5 once more. Sweet's dribble, intercepted by Seema. She passes to Martin. Martin puts up the shot and draws the foul on Olivia Sweet. So Martin will go to the line and shoot 2. Substitution for both teams, Jazz Greenwood and Isabel James checking in for the Suns. Chloe Mott checking in for Olivia Sweet for the Panthers. Inbound ball finds Martin. She kicks out to Patterson. Greenwood goes to Seema, now to James. She hands off back to Seema, 10 on the clock to shoot. Martin has to kick out to James. She gives to Greenwood. Greenwood, 5 on the clock. Floater from the elbow, finds the mark. So Sherbrooke lead by 7 now. Inbound ball finds McCauley. Martin comes across to help Greenwood after the overcommit. She gives to Rukers now. Back out to McCauley, swings to Schultz. Schultz unloads another 3. Shot just short. James rebounds. She gives to Seema. Looks to go over the top to Greenwood, but it's cut off by Rukers. Rukers just doesn't fall. Did a little trick on the rim, but didn't want to fall. Greenwood now the other way. She looks to drive inside. Left-hand side. Shot falls for Jazz Greenwood. Inbound pass cut off by Patterson. She gives to Seema. Back out to Patterson. Morty Patterson for 3. Shot doesn't fall. Rebound off hands and out of court. And it'll be a Sherbrooke ball. Patterson to inbound. She gets it back from Greenwood. Floater from Patterson. Doesn't find the mark. Martin picks up the offensive board. Puts it back up. She's fouled and will go to the line and shoot 2. So Paige Schultz will now check out after picking up her 3rd foul. She's replaced by Ro Kerr. So Isabella Martin at the line, shooting her first set of free throws. First one doesn't fall. Martin currently the top rebounder on the court with 7. 5 of those offensive. She's got 4 points to her name. Free throw doesn't fall. James hustles for the offensive rebound, but ultimately it ends up with Kerr. James and Martin double team Kerr. Her pass around the corner does find Macaulay. She gives to Rukers. Rukers pulls up over Patterson. Mid-ranger doesn't go. James rebounds. She gives to Greenwood. Greenwood's going to launch a 3. Shot doesn't go. Kerr rebounds, but Patterson looks to come in to force the jump. It spills out. Kerr and Patterson go at it again, and the jump is forced. And it'll be a Panthers ball as Sherbrooke sub Holly Gibson in for Morty Patterson. So Kerr to take the inbound. She gives to Rukers. Guarded by Gibson, who's back on the court after picking up 2 early fouls. Rukers looks inside for Macaulay. Guarded by Greenwood. Kicks to Connors, who gives to Mott. Mott kicks back out to Rukers. Mid-range shot is good for Kendra Rukers. Her first points of the affair. Sherbrooke lead 27-20. 5.5 to play in the second. Greenwood gives to James. Then to Gibson. Back out to James. Looks inside for Martin. Martin looks to spin. A little stoppage in play here. So the refs have called a jump ball after the stoppage of play, meaning it will be a Sherbrooke ball from the baseline. They've got 14 to shoot. So Gibson's inbound, finds Greenwood. We're back underway. Gibson gives back to Greenwood for three, top of the key. Jazz Greenwood nails the three. Kerr with ball in hand. Waits for the screen from Rukers. She's guarded by Greenwood. Looks inside for Connors. Instead goes over the top to Sweet. Sweet launches for three. Doesn't fall. Rebound, Seema. She looks to dribble through the middle of the court. Pass over the top, finds Greenwood. Greenwood slows it down. Kicks out to James. She looks to drive. Floater from James. Doesn't fall. Gibson picks up the board. Spins. No good on the shot. The ball out of court off Sherbrooke hands. Ball in the hands of Rukers. She hands to Sweet. Sweet looking to drive. Has to kick out to Rukers. Rukers spins. Passes inside for Macaulay. Macaulay lays it in.
2 points, Chloe Macaulay.
Sherbrooke's lead now at 8. 4 minutes to play in the first half. Greenwood gives to Karajic Powell, now to Seema. Fakes the three. Kicks back out to Karajic Powell. She finds Gibson. Looks back for Karajic Powell. Pass too low. Gibson steals it off Connors. Goes for the reverse. Draws the foul, so she'll shoot two. Zalana Tompkins checks back in for Nikki Seema. Holly Gibson at the line, shooting two. First one doesn't fall for Gibson. Second one goes. So Gibson's on the off the mark now. Regards to scoring. Rukers gives to Sweet. She dribbles right side. Fakes to go back inside. Goes outside. Pass over the top to Rukers. She goes for three. Bounces very nicely for Kendra Rukers.
3 points, Kendra Rukers.
Greenwood passes over the top to Karajic Powell. Back out to Greenwood. She goes for three. Hits it again.
3 points.
Sherbrooke hit back. And Kerr now. She goes for the jumper from the free throw line. In and out for Kerr, but she's fouled and will shoot two by the Sherbrooke 21, Katie Karajic Powell. Substitutions for Sherbrooke. Keely Gray checks in for Isabel James. So it's Kerr at the line to shoot two. First one just short. Kerr hits the second. So Sherbrooke leads 34-26, 3:20 to play in the second, rather. Ball finds Gray. She looks inside Karajic Powell. Outside Tompkins. Tompkins drives. Puts up the shot. Banks it in off the glass.
2 points, Alana Tompkins.
She's up to 11 now. Tompkins now guarding Kerr. Kerr draws the foul on Tompkins as Mott checks back in for Olivia Connors. So it's Sweet to take the inbound. She looks over the top, finds Macaulay. Macaulay off the glass, shot doesn't fall, picks up the own offensive rebound. Second attempt doesn't go. Karajic Powell rebounds. Long pass over the top, finds Greenwood. Weak side, lays it in off the glass. Sherbrooke lead by 12. Gibson defends Macaulay. She looks inside for Mott. Mott spins on Karajik Powell. Doesn't fall. Tompkins rebounds. She looks for Gray now, carving through the middle of the court. Gray shot, too much on it. Macaulay rebounds, going the other way. And draws the foul on Tompkins.
2 minutes 18 left in the first half.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what happened, but it's now a Sherbrooke ball. Tompkins inbounds, gives to Karajik Powell. She gets it back. Tompkins for three again. Doesn't fall. Macaulay rebounds. She looks over the top for Rukas. Rukas has a 2-on-2. Doesn't need it. She drives herself. Shot doesn't go. Sweet picks up the offensive board. Back to Rukas in the corner. She goes for three. No good. Rebound Tompkins. She looks over the top for Greenwood. She kicks to Gray. Gray drives left side. Shot doesn't fall. Rebound picked up by Mott. Her pass finds Sweet. Sweet looks for Macaulay. Picked up by Gray after the tip from Gibson. She gives to Tompkins. Tompkins fakes. Drives and draws the foul. She'll be at the line shooting two.
And a timeout called for the Panthers. 38-26, 1:37 on the clock.
So Wallan calls a timeout. A minute and a half to play in the second. And they currently trail by 12, 38-26. So we return. Tompkins at the line. First one falls. Second one just doesn't go. Rebound Macaulay. She looks over the top for Sweet. Gray comes across to defend. Sweet drives. Draws the foul. And she will be at the line to shoot two. So Sweet's first free throw just short. She's currently got 2 points in the match. So Sweet hits the second one. So a minute and a half to play here in the first half. Greenwood looking to slow it down. Gibson gives to Tompkins. She lines up another three. Doesn't fall. Rebound Kerr. She goes a cross-court pass for Schultz. She's guarded by Tompkins. Shot doesn't fall. Sweet rebound. Spins. Puts it up again. No good. Rebound falls off hands to Karajik Powell. She looks for the pass over the top to Greenwood. It's intercepted by the Panthers. Ball in the hands of Rukas. She gives to Macaulay, who gives to Sweet. Sweet's going to pull up for three. No good. Karajik Powell rebounds. Ball with Gibson, top of the key. Tompkins once again fires a 3. Shot doesn't fall. And it's out of court and a Panthers ball. So Rukas picks up the inbound. She gets over the top to Macaulay. 2-on-1. Macaulay drives, blocked by Gray. Be out of court and a Panthers ball rather. 24.7 on the clock. Looks to be Rukas to inbound. She gives over the top to Schultz. Schultz passes to Kerr. Kerr's shot. It's a moon ball, but it finds the mark. So no shot clock in play. 14 seconds on the clock. Tompkins gives to Gibson. Gets it back and then kicks over to Greenwood. Greenwood launches a 3. Doesn't fall. Gibson hustles on the rebound. It ends up in the hands of Kerr. 5 seconds to play. Kerr cuts through the middle. Her pass to Macaulay is off the mark. And the bell rings, bringing an end to the first half. Sherbrooke take a 10-point lead, 39-29. So play due to get back underway in about 10 seconds. Sherbrooke hold a 10-point lead over Wallan, 39-29 after the first half. Top scorers on the court for the Panthers. Paige Schultz has 10. And for the Suns, Jazz Greenwood leading all comers. She has 14. Isabella Martin leading the rebounders on the court. She has 8, 6 of those being offensive. We get back underway with a Wallan ball. As Rukas takes the inbound, she gives to Macaulay to get us back underway. Macaulay looks to drive in, has to pass, looks for Rukas, cut off by Campbell. She goes over the top for Martin. Martin kicks out to Greenwood now in the corner. Greenwood for 3 over Schultz, doesn't fall. Anderson picks up the rebound. She gives to Tompkins. Tompkins fakes, drives inside. Shot off the glass, too much on it. Rebound picked up by Schultz. She goes inside to Mott. Mott holds onto the dribble just. She drives inside, kicks out. Too sweet, mid-range jump shot, too much. Tompkins rebounds. Her dribble picked up, however, by Mott. She gives to Rukas, who goes for 3. Just in and out for Rukas. Sweet rebounds. Shot doesn't fall. Rukas picks it up again. Third chance for the Panthers. Rukas lays it in.
2 points,
Kendra, not Kendrick. So Lani Campbell will give to Anderson, who gives to Tompkins. She gets it back from Greenwood. Tompkins drives inside. Floater, too much on it. She rebounds by tipping to Martin, who's fouled on the shot.
Fouls on number 21, Chloe Macaulay.
And Martin will go to the line and shoot 2.
Isabella Martin to the line.
So Martin's first free throw is good. The second one is good as well for Martin.
Isabella Martin knocks down the second.
So ball in the hands of Sweet. She waits for the screen from Macaulay. Anderson switches. Sweet has to pick up. Ball tipped away by Anderson. Sweet will hold on to it. 8 on the clock. She looks inside for Schultz. Guarded by Anderson. Schultz gets to Mott. Mott kicks out to Macaulay. Has to put up the 3. Doesn't fall. Lani Campbell rebounds. Puts some pace on the ball the other way. Greenwood now. Wanted to drive baseline. It was cut off by Mott. She spins. Kicks to Anderson. Anderson deep 2. Doesn't go. And will bounce out of court for a Panthers ball. So Rukers has it. Tompkins switches after the screen. Rukers spins, looks to drive right side. Shot blocked by Tompkins. She keeps it in. Passes over the top to Campbell. Campbell goes for the shot from the left side. It doesn't fall. She picks up the rebound and will keep it in. Kicks out to Greenwood. 8 on the shot clock. Tompkins unloads a 3. Doesn't go. Campbell picks up another offensive board. Kicks to Anderson. Mid-range 2. Short. Rebound off hands. Falls to Mott. And Wallan going the other way. Macaulay's pass to Rukers is tipped. And Rukers draws a foul on the Sherbrooke number 2. Isabella Martin. Rukers pass over the top, looking for Sweet, is cut off by Martin. Greenwood gives to Campbell in the corner. She looks inside for Martin. Martin spins. Shot doesn't go. Rebound off hands. Out of court, and it'll be a Wallan ball. After a foul from the Sherbrooke 2. So Wallan bring it up the court. Sweet is able to drive after the overcommit from Greenwood. Ball comes out of court. It'll be a Sherbrooke ball as the Panthers make a double sub. Connors and Kerr checking in for Sweet and Macaulay. So Tompkins kicks to Greenwood in the corner. Greenwood unloads a 3. Doesn't fall. Martin tries to tip to a teammate, but it ends up out of court. So Connors to take the inbound. She goes to Kerr. Back to Connors. 6:45 to play here in the third. Ball makes its way to Mott. She kicks out all the way to Schultz. She goes for 3. Shot doesn't fall. Connors picks up the offensive board, kicks back out to Rukers. She looks inside for Mott. Mott spins, puts up the shot, blocked by Anderson. Picked up by Rukers. She gives back out to Schultz. 4 on the shot clock. Schultz's shot doesn't go. Martin rebounds in front of Mott. Tompkins cross-court pass, finds Campbell. Campbell's layup doesn't go. However, she cuts off the pass from Schultz looking for Rukers. Right side this time. Campbell doesn't get it to fall. Ball out of court after a rash pass from the Panthers. Anderson gives to Tompkins, who looks inside for Martin. She's guarded by Mott. Martin's shot rather, blocked by Mott. Picked up by Connors, eventually makes its way to Kerr. She gives to Mott. Mott gives to Schultz. Schultz cutting baseline, shot doesn't fall. Martin rebounds, gives to Campbell. She looks inside for Martin. Martin cuts through the middle. Shot doesn't fall. But she'll be back at the line, shooting another 2 free throws.
Number 11, Chloe Mott. A substitution for the Suns, Ella Campbell checking in.
So Ella Campbell checks in for Alana Tompkins. So Martin's first shot goes. And the second as well. She'll now be subbed out for Isabel James. So inbound ball from Connors, finds Rukers. Rukers looking for Connors again, cut off by Greenwood. Greenwood lays it in. So Kerr this time instead goes to Schultz. Schultz puts up the 3. Doesn't go. James rebounds. Gives over the top to Greenwood. Greenwood drives left side, kicks out to Campbell. Campbell's going to go for 3. In and out for Campbell. Schultz rebounds in front of Greenwood. She gives over to Kerr. Kerr goes up the court to Rukers. She goes for 3 over James. In and out for Rukers. Rebound off hands. Picked up in the end by Mott. Her follow-up shot doesn't go. James picks up the rebound. Goes over the top to Ella Campbell. She fakes the pass and lays it in off the glass. So Connors inbounds. Finds Kerr. Kerr looks to drive through the middle. She draws the foul. On the Sherbrooke 15, Jenna Anderson, as both teams make substitutions. Paige Schultz and Kendra Rukers check out for Olivia Sweet and Chloe McCauley. For the Panthers and for the Suns, Katie Karajic-Powell checks in for Jenna Anderson. So ball in the hands of Sweet. She kicks to Kerr. Kerr goes for 3. Doesn't fall. Rebound comes off hands and ends up in a jump ball between Greenwood and Sweet. It'll be a Suns ball. Karajic-Powell goes to Campbell. Greenwood back to Campbell. Now Karajic-Powell, top of the key. Drives inside, kicks to James. James takes a dribble, puts up the shot. Just doesn't bounce the way that the Suns want it to. Mott picks up the rebound. She looks inside for a pass. Finds Sweet. Sweet drives and draws the foul. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. So double substitution now for the Suns. Lani Campbell and Jazz Greenwood make way for Holly Gibson and Morty Patterson. So Sweet's first shot is good for the Panthers. They currently trail by 15, 32 to 47. And the second one falls as well for Sweet. Ball in the hands of Ella Campbell now. Gives to Karajic-Powell to Gibson. She kicks to Patterson in the corner. Patterson fakes the 3. Pulls up for the mid-ranger. Doesn't go. She picks up the offensive board. Left side. No good. James hustles for the rebound. The refs picked out a foul on the Sherbrooke 33, Isabel James. That means that the Panthers are in the bonus. So Olivia Connells will be at the line shooting 2. So Connors hits the first. She's up to 5 points now. And the second one as well. So Sherbrooke's lead now 12, 3.5 to play in the third. Campbell ball in hand, gives to Karajic-Powell, to Gibson. Back to Karajic-Powell, looking to drive, has to kick out to Gibson. Gibson drives, floater shot, not enough on it. Picked up by Mott. Mott looks to dribble, passes inside to McCauley. Karajic-Powell comes across to help Campbell. But she fouls. And McCauley will go to the line and shoot 2. So the first one for McCauley doesn't fall. She's currently got 2 points. And 6 rebounds. 0 for 1 from the line, 0 for 2. Patterson picks up the board. Karajic-Powell's pass, looking for James, is cut off by Mott. She gives back to Connors. Connors goes across to Sweet. Sweet kicks to McCauley in the corner. Waits for the screen. Corley forced to kick back out. Ball makes its way to Sweet. Patterson tips it away and draws a foul.
Fouls number 16, Olivia Sweet.
So Patterson inbounds to Campbell. Ball finds Patterson left side. She looks inside for James. James defended by Mott. Fakes, spins and lays it in off the glass. So inbound finds Macaulay. Macaulay gets around Patterson. Passes inside for Sweet. Defended well by James. She picks up the rebound. Her pass to Patterson tipped away out of court. And it'll be a Suns ball. So Campbell has ball in hand. She gives to Karajik Powell. Looks inside for Gibson. Gibson pass out to Campbell. Just too much on it. And it rolls out of court.
Panthers ball, 2:13 on the clock, 49-35. Suns in the lead.
Kerr's pass finds Macaulay. She's guarded by Patterson. Ball finds its way to Mott. Mott posts on James. Karajik Powell comes across to help. Mott pulls down the rebound from the block shot. Macaulay goes for three. Doesn't fall. She crashes the rebounds. And draws a foul on the Sherbrooke 18, Holly Gibson. So Macaulay will be back at the line to shoot another set of free throws. So Macaulay's first one doesn't fall. Second one no good either. Karajik Powell rebounds for the Suns. Campbell with ball in hand goes to Gibson. Right side. She goes for three. Doesn't fall. Patterson crashes the rebounds and gives to Karajik Powell. 10 seconds on the clock. Kick out to Patterson in the corner. Morty Patterson hits the three. Sweet inbounds. Gets it back from Kerr. Minute and a half to play in the third. Sweet looks to drive through the middle. Shot over Gibson. Rebounded by Connors. She puts it back up and in. So the Suns lead by 15. James with ball in hand, kicks to Gibson. One more to Patterson in the corner. She drives. Shot. Looking for it over the top of Mott. It's blocked, but Patterson picks it up again. She kicks out to Ella Campbell. Campbell unloads a three. Doesn't fall. Rebound Mott. She goes over the top of Karajik Powell to Sweet, who goes over to Macaulay. Macaulay draws the foul, so she'll go back and shoot two more free throws.
Fouls on number 5, Ella Campbell.
So Macaulay nails the first.
Knocks down the first.
Second one in and out for Macaulay. James hustles, picks up the rebound. She goes up to Gibson. Gives a pass Kerr after the overcommit. Gives to Campbell. Campbell drives. Shot blocked by Sweet. She just can't keep it in though. It'll be a Suns ball. So Patterson inbounds. Gives to Karajik Powell. She goes over the top of Mott. Doesn't fall. Gibson crashes the rebounds. Gives to Patterson. Patterson, mid-ranger, is good.
2 points, Morty Patterson.
So Patterson up to 5 points now. Kerr with the dribble. Gives to Mott. Now to Macaulay. She gives to Sweet. Sweet loads three. Doesn't go. Rebound, bounces off a lot of hands. And Patterson forces the jump ball with Mott for the Panthers. So 19.2 on the clock, 14 on the shot clock. Connors inbounds to Sweet, top of the key. She kicks out to Macaulay. She gives back to Sweet. Looks inside for Mott. Patterson just can't quite grab it cleanly. In the end, falls to Mott. James rebounds. Gives to Patterson. Patterson goes over the top to Gibson. Gibson's going to put up a Hail Mary. And it doesn't go.
And that wraps up the third quarter, 54-38, Suns in the lead.
So we lead into the final term. Sherbrooke holding a 16-point lead, 54-38. So, due to get back underway, Gray inbounds for the Suns. They lead by 16. Gray gives to Patterson, back to Gray, top of the key. She kicks to Seema, and back to Gray. Now Patterson. Gray looks to drive left side. Floater over Mott, doesn't fall. Rebound Connors. She gives to Kerr. Kerr gives to Macaulay. Macaulay drives. Gray comes across but fouls. So Macaulay will be at the line shooting 2.
Foul number 3, Keely Gray.
So Macaulay's first free throw doesn't fall. Second one, however, does. She's up to 4 points now. Greenwell looking to put some pace on the ball. Looks to drive. Shot blocked by Mott. Picked up by Kerr. She gives to Rukers. She gives back to Kerr. Her shot doesn't fall. And Seema and Macaulay hustle the jump ball. And it'll be a Panthers ball. So Kerr to inbound. She finds Rukers. Rukers for 3 over Gray. No good. Seema rebounds. She looks to dribble through the middle. Eventually gets it to Gray. Gray fakes the 3. Takes it now. Doesn't go. Rebound Kerr. She gives to Connors and gets it back. She kicks now to Macaulay, guarded closely by Seema. Waits for the screen from Mott. Gray comes across to cover. Macaulay's jump shot from the free throw line, no good. Gray picks up the long rebound. She goes over the top to Patterson. And Patterson draws a foul on the Panthers 21, Chloe Macaulay.
Fouls on number 21, Chloe Macaulay. That's her 4th personal.
So Macaulay picks up her 4th foul. Inbound ball finds Greenwood to Gray. Gives to Seema. Mid-ranger. Doesn't fall. James picks up the offensive rebound. She puts it back up. No good. Secondary rebound off hands and out of court of Sherbrooke. This would be a Panthers ball. Ball in the hands of Kerr. She's guarded by Seema. Looks inside for Mott. Mott spins out, lays it in. She's up to 4 now. Greenwood gives to Patterson. Deep 2. Too much on it. Rebound picked up by Kerr. And she draws a foul.
Fouls on number 3, Keely Gray.
Gray picks up her 3rd personal foul as Anderson and Tompkins check in for Patterson and Isabel James. So Rukers with ball in hand. Seema switches after the screen. Rukers looks to drive through the middle. Eventually gets there. Just doesn't finish off the shot. Greenwood rebounds. Gives it to Gray. Fakes the handoff to Tompkins. Gray drives baseline. Looks to kick it out. It's deflected out of court by Mott. Be a Sherbrooke ball. Gray finds Anderson. Anderson shot off the glass, just doesn't go. Tompkins rebounds. Gray rebounds off the missed shot from Tompkins and reverse lays it in. Rukers gives to Connors, gets it back, kicks now to Kerr. Kerr's going to unload a 3. No good. Seema and Mott hustle the rebound. Mott pulls it down for the Panthers. She gives to Macaulay, guarded by Anderson. Looks inside for Mott. Mott guarded by Gray. And Mott draws the foul. Does Wallan make a double sub? Olivia Sweet and Paige Schultz checking in for Chloe Macaulay and Kendra Rukers. That was Gray's 4th personal. So Kerr inbounds. She finds Sweet. Guarded by Greenwood. Looks to drive. Shot doesn't fall. Rebound comes off hands to Seema. Seema looks to drive through the middle. Floater shot is good from Seema. So Sweet picks up the inbound for the Panthers. 6:40 to play. She gives to Kerr. Kerr looks to drive. Floater over Gray is short. So it'll be a Sherbrooke ball. So Greenwood kicks to Gray. She gives now to Seema. Gives to Tompkins in the corner. Back to Seema and back to Gray. Top of the key. Gray's going to unload a 3. No good. Rebound Connors. She gives to Kerr. Long pass up to Sweet. Sweet looks to drive. Kicks out to Schultz for the deep 2. Got it. So that's Paige Schultz's first point since the first quarter. Sherbrooke looking to put pace on it the other way. Greenwood to Anderson to Seamer. Back to Greenwood at the top of the key. Waits for the screen from Anderson. Deflected away by Mott. Greenwood picks it up again and unloads the three.
3 points.
So Sherbrooke lead by 18. Sweet gives to Connors. Looks inside for Schultz. Schultz kicks back to Connors. Connors mid-range shot. No good. Mott hustles the offensive board. She spins. As the referees confer. And a jump ball called. So it'll be a Sherbrooke ball, 5.5 to play. Gray gives to Tompkins, back to Gray. And back to Tompkins once again. She looks to drive in, left side. Kick out to Greenwood, eventually finds the mark. She drives baseline. But the pass was blocked off by Mott. She forces a travel. So Isabella Martin and Lani Campbell check in for Seamer and Gray. Connors gives inside to Schultz. She looks over the top for Mott. Pass cut off by Martin. She dribbles up the court, gives to Greenwood in the corner. Greenwood going to unload another three. In and out for Greenwood. Rebound comes off hands and out of court off Sherbrooke. And it's a Panthers ball. Sweets pass, looking for Schultz, cut off by Tompkins. Tompkins drives down the court,
2 points, Alana Tompkins.
lays it in. She'll go to the line for the three-point play.
On number 16, Olivia Sweet.
Tompkins gets it to fall. So Tompkins up to 15 points on the night now to go along with her 6 boards. Schultz hands to Sweet. Sweet to Connors, inside looking for Kerr. Kerr's pass to Sweet, doesn't find the mark. Picked up by Campbell. She drives down left side, passes to Greenwood. Greenwood picks up the scraps
Jazz Greenwood.
and pops it in from the block. Connors to Schultz, inside for Mott, guarded by Martin. Mott's shot falls in off the glass. So Sherbrooke lead by 21 with 4 minutes to play. Anderson to Tompkins to Greenwood, back to Anderson. She looks inside for Martin. Martin spins. Shot doesn't fall. Kerr picks up the rebound. And the pass up the court. Deflected by Anderson and out of court. As the Panthers call a timeout, the Suns lead 66-45. 3.5 to play in the last. So we restart play with the inbound ball in Olivia Connor's hands. She receives it back from Rukers. Her pass looking for Rukers once more. Cut off by Martin. Martin drives down the court. Layup doesn't fall. She eventually picks up the offensive rebound off hands. She looks over for Anderson. Anderson
2 points, Jenna Anderson.
pops it in for her first field goal of the matchup. Connors gives to Mott. Mott looks to drive baseline. Kicks to Schultz. Schultz's shot just doesn't go. Anderson hustles on the rebound. Knocks it out of her hands. Martin's pass to Greenwood. Greenwood just keeps it in. She looks to drive. Kicks out to Tompkins. Tompkins going to fire a 3. Yes!
3 points, Lana Tompkins.
It's Tompkins' 4-3. She's up to 18 points. 6 of 18 from the field. Ball with Connors at the top of the key. She gives over to Kerr. Mott looks to drive. Baseline. She's cut off by Anderson. 4 on the shot clock. Ball in the hands of Schultz. She's going to have to jack up a shot. It's tipped away by Martin. And the Suns force a shot clock violation. So Tompkins going to fire another one. Yes! Back-to-back threes, Alana Tompkins. She's now equal top scorer on the court with 21. Schultz gives to Mott, guarded by Tompkins. Mott looks to spin, but a travel is called. Sherbrooke make a double substitution. Ella Campbell and Louise Karajic-Powell check in for Jazz Greenwood and Jenna Anderson. So Sherbrooke lead by 29, if my math's not wrong, with 2 minutes to play. Tompkins kicks to Campbell. She looks to drive through the middle. Left side. Now draws the foul, and Lani Campbell will go to the line to shoot 2.
Third personal. Lani Campbell to the line.
Campbell's first one is in and out. Second one spins in for Campbell, so the lead out to 30.
6 left in the game.
So Kerr, guarded by Martin. She gives to Mott. Mott now to Connors. Looks inside for Rukers. Pass cut off by Tompkins. She passes to Campbell. Campbell looks back over the top for Tompkins' pass. Deflected by Mott and out of court. So it's a Sherbrooke ball. So Ella Campbell takes the inbound. She kicks out to Campbell. Campbell, deep 3. Just a tad too much on it. Picked up by Connors for the rebound. 1:20 to play. Kerr double teamed by Martin and Campbell. She gets it over the top to Schultz. Schultz's pass deflected by Lani Campbell. Picked up by Martin. Martin gets down the court. Draws the foul. She'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Fouls on number 11. Chloe. That's her 4th personal.
So Martin doesn't hit the first. Second one doesn't fall either. Karajic-Powell hustles for the offensive rebound. Looks to put it back up. Draws another foul. So Karajic-Powell will go to the line. Tompkins picks up the ball after the deflection. She gives to Campbell. Lani Campbell drives in, left side, lays it up and in off the glass. Lani Campbell's got 5 points now, 35 seconds to play. Ball with Sweet. She fakes, looks to drive baseline. Ball tipped away. It is picked up by Macaulay. She fake steps, drives inside, up and in off the glass. Sherbrooke. Campbell drives through the middle. She gives out to Tompkins. Kicks to Karajik Powell. She's going to go for 3. Shot doesn't go. Mott rebounds. Pass over the top, finds Sweet. She's got a 2-on-1 with Rukes. Tompkins blocks. 4.2 on the clock. So Rukes takes the inbound. She kicks to Mott in the corner, but Mott steps out of court. So we Sherbrooke ball with 3 seconds to play. Martin looks to put up a shot. Doesn't fall. But the Suns run out, 30-point leaders in a dominant performance, 77-47.